So this video, as you guys can tell by the title, it is about my very first tattoo. I'm sure you guys have seen it in earlier videos. However, it was only half done at the time and throughout these videos. Now it is fully done. I actually got it fully done yesterday. So I'm recording this the day after. So I will be going over my experience. What I felt getting the tattoo, kind of all the pains and stuff that come with it, so on and so forth. But before I get into it, guys, there is a link down below to the Patreon to join the growth circle. We are building an amazing community over there. You guys get access to a variety of different tiers that do include benefits such as early access to videos such as this. You guys do get Q&As, and then of course members' names at the end of videos. Those are some of the perks that are included within the Patreon. So again, guys, link down below. But getting into it, right now it is very, very sore and very tender. I can barely move my arm. I'm lifting it up right now. It's probably the highest I can lift it. You can kind of see it. Kind of see the colour and whatnot. So all this started about a month ago, maybe a little bit over it, when I got the idea to get a tattoo. It's kind of one of those things that I wasn't really too fussed about. It was kind of like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I'm not too fussed. However, I did finally decide to get it. Finally decided to book in a consult. Got that done. We booked in a date and started to get the tattoo done. So it is on they call it a lower arm sleeve. So it's basically just on like your forearm and whatnot. Yeah, it doesn't really go up any higher or any lower. So it is a lower arm sleeve. I had to sit, I think, 2 4-hour sessions, which is a pretty long time. However, compared to some other tattoos that I've heard people get, people are sitting for about 8+ hours, so it's really not that bad in comparison. So the first time I went in, they just did the outline, which is what you guys can see in previous videos. When I've got my arm on the desk, you guys can see it. It's basically just the outline. And you can kind of see a little bit of the area that they filled in. However, they weren't going to fill it entirely because there's no way they're going to do the entire sleeve, because they have to go back over, kind of do more details, and your skin won't be fully healed. So that was the first session, and to be honest, since it was the first time getting it done, when you go into that first session, you're very excited, nervous. You kind of worry about how the recovery and everything like that's going to go. It is a weird feeling when you get tattooed. Very strange. It hurts in certain areas compared to most. Obviously, like around the wrist and the elbow. Well, elbow and like your inner elbow, the joint. It is very tough. Those areas are pretty tough. I was grimacing quite a lot. But other than that, some other areas like the inside of my forearm were pretty sensitive and tough as well. Sometimes it'll be pretty calm, and then all of a sudden the pain will just kick up another notch. So this is that. However, the first time I went in, I feel like I did pretty well. Again, you're sitting for 4 hours, so it is kind of boring. At least for me, I didn't really take anything. I didn't really want anything. I kind of just sat there, looked around. I was very fortunate that where I was getting it done, they have kind of like a second story, which is where I was, and they had a window, and you can look out onto the street, which is nice. You can just see life passing through. So that was kind of nice, just to let your mind do its thing. But once that was done, I think I only took one break during that session, berries or some sort of sugar to bring up your glucose, so that way you don't really crash hard, pass out or whatever. And also drink water because you do sweat a lot, like a lot. It is crazy. Then once that was done, they wrap you up and whatnot. Sleeping is kind of an issue because I couldn't bend my arm, right? So I was sleeping like my arm straight out. So that wasn't really that fun. However, I got a better sleep than I thought, but of course it wasn't really that great. And then the first few days, it's pretty sore, right? Like your forearm, it's just so swollen. You can't really bend your arm because again, it's swollen, it's sore, it's bruised, and you got all this blood and plasma coming out. It doesn't look pretty, but as long as you stay on top of your like moisturizer or your tattoo balm, whatever they want to call it, it does heal pretty well. But like I said, the first few days were kind of brutal because it's just getting used to it, right? Getting used to how to sleep, how to kind of operate with this. It feels like dead weight because you can't really do anything. But by the end of like 3 or 4 days, you kind of do regain everything back. However, it starts getting itchy, right? Like a sunburn, peeling away, itchy, scabby, which it's more or less annoying than anything else. You don't really feel like picking at it or anything, but it's really just annoying and it kind of burns all the time. There's no real way to kind of offset that. You kind of have to suck it up. At least I didn't really have any ways to fix it. It kind of just kept doing its thing, but I'm pretty happy with how it healed. And the first time, I think my first week, I didn't hit the gym, didn't do anything like that. I only did sprinting and running. And then of course afterwards I made sure to pat it down because you don't want any water or anything on the tattoo. I made sure to pat it down, and then of course you moisturize it with your balm or whatever. And that was about it. I think 1 week after, so I got my tattoo done on a Thursday, so the Thursday after is when I hit the gym. However, I had to switch up what I was doing. I did lighter reps, lighter sets, different exercises, more machine based to help my arm basically, because I didn't want to overload it or whatever. And again, it's just about keeping your tattoo clean and keeping it to the point where you don't overdo it. You want to keep it clean, like I said, and you don't really want to irritate it, especially since the gym is kind of it can be a grotty, sweaty place, so you make sure you wipe down all the machines before you use it and afterwards. And again, just taking good care of it, because my priority was to get my gym in. It wasn't necessarily to improve, but it was to maintain my physique and my fitness, and also to make sure my tattoo was fine. And then I think I did 2 weeks of those, and then I went back to my normal routine in the gym, which is crazy because it takes about like 3-4 weeks for my tattoo, or it took 3 to 4 weeks for it to heal fully, which I was very happy about. However, it felt longer because there were some times where it just gets really irritating, and there's sometimes where you want to do something but you can't because you got to keep your tattoo in mind and whatnot. But from my first appointment to my second, which was yesterday, I waited about 5 weeks, which is about a month and a bit, which I'm very thankful for because it gave me enough time to recover, and also basically it just gave me enough time to recover, even though I feel like I maybe could have gone in a week earlier. Let me tell you about this second tattoo appointment. It started off, I went in and I was like, alright, I know what to expect. It's gonna be kind of the same, not a breeze, but it's gonna be easier, right? Because I know what to expect. I know how long it's gonna go for, yada yada yada. And starting off, everything went great, right? I rocked up, got in, we hopped straight into doing the tattoo, and everything was fine from the get-go. And then there was a point where he started doing like my inner forearm, and the pain just skyrocketed. It was so bad. was grimacing a lot, breathing really heavy, and I was like, what is going on? I had to take about like 3 breaks the entire session. I had my lollies with me. This time I actually ate them, and I ate probably about 6 or 8 of them throughout the session, which is crazy. And then I drank almost my entire water bottle. There was one point where it legit felt like I was gonna pass out. And then he's like, alright, let's take a break, stretch. And I was like, thank goodness. And then, of course, once I got my lollies in, my glucose was up, and got my water in, I actually felt really good, which was crazy. And then towards the end, he flipped me on my stomach so he could get like the underarm of my forearm, and I was like, oh, we're nearly done. Great. You know, I only have about maybe 10-15 minutes. No, I had about 30-45 minutes, and it got tough again. However, I'm very glad I thugged out, as they say, because I did not want to reschedule it and go back, because I just want to get it over and done with, right? And I'm very happy with how it turned out. You guys can see from the thumbnail, and I might put up some pictures right now in this video as well, if I remember. But yeah, I'm super happy how it turned out. If you guys can't tell, it is a dragon which wraps around my forearm. It's got a red orb. Not that it represents anything, but it just looks cool, and it's got red eyes as well. I didn't want too much colour in it. Yeah, I did want a little bit so it could stand out. I'm super happy with how it turned out and everything. I really do like how it turned out in the end. I love the colour, I love the details, I just love it. Now we're kind of just going through the process of, you know, letting it recover again, taking a very similar approach to the first time. However, one thing I've noticed is that it's a little bit more sensitive, which I was asking him about. I'm like, man, why was that so much more tough than the first time? And he's like, because you're going over it again, you're basically irritating the skin again, right? Like, yes, it was healed, however, the more time you leave between each session, the more it can heal, and so on and so forth. He was telling me that some people want to go in 2 weeks afterwards, and I'm like, no way, that was killing me. That was 5 weeks. Going in 2 weeks afterwards would have been nuts. So, I mean, in the end, it probably would have just hurt regardless, right? And I was going to get it done one way or the other. But again, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. The second time was much more brutal than the first time. And yeah, I don't really have any other tattoo plans. I was thinking maybe one under my collarbone or like on the back. Other than that, not really. Like, yeah, they're ideas, but they're not ones I want to pursue. It's kind of just like, oh, if it happens, it happens. It's not really on the forefront of my mind at the moment. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, really nothing else to talk about with the tattoo. Like I said, kind of just taking a similar approach to the recovery. You know, doing my balm and moisturizer, making sure it's clean, my tattoo, taking good care of it. You know, of course it might be a bit different because it's a little bit more sore than I remember it being. However, it doesn't feel as much of a nuisance. It doesn't feel super dead weighty. But again, we'll see how it goes, and if you guys want, I can update you guys over on the Patreon. So yeah, that'll probably do it for this video, guys. Hopefully you all did enjoy the story time. And if you guys do like this, let me know down in the comments. And also, if you have tattoos on your own and your own tattoo experiences, again, let me know down in the comments as well.